I have been selling this book, Zanazli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH for a while now. It's a really good book. If you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever, this is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. You're watching and listening to Fat Bidin Film Club. I'm assuming Azan Azli. As usual, every week. As usual, every week we watch a local film and we review it. And this week we're watching a local film and we're reviewing it. It's a film called Gold.
It has nothing to do with actual gold.
You look like gold to me. Okay, we watched Goal, directed by Adrian Tay. Can you tell us what the film is about? It's badminton.
The film is about shoot, I forgot his name already.
Liu Hong.
Chea Liu Hong.
Lu Hong.
Chea Liu Hong.
Liu Hong.
Liu Ho, who is a Paralympic badminton player. He wasn't always a Paralympic badminton player.
He was a very successful kid.
From a young kid, he has always been interested in badminton, inspired by Rashid Sidek.
I mean, who wasn't inspired by Rashid Sidek? Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, and then he later on finds out he's got like some form of palsy on his right arm.
Yeah.
No, right arm.
His spine, which affects the right side of his body.
So it affects his balance when he plays badminton, and then the story goes from there. I can't really tell you much, but you can basically figure it out.
It's a true story.
It's a true story.
So you know lah. He won the gold at the Japan.
So he was
Tokyo
11th
Olympics.
time world champion.
Yes.
In para badminton, but then they never had para badminton in the Paralympics for the Olympics, and then he retired. And then after he retired, then they decided, oh, you know what?
He retired because he wanted to support the family after his father died.
Yeah. And then then when they put in badminton as a Paralympic sport, he decided to make a comeback, and his coach was Rashid Sidek.
Wanted Rashid Sidek to be his coach, but he was fat. He
was damn fat. Yeah. And then the story goes from there lah. And he won a gold basically in the Olympics. Yeah. What do you think of the film?
Yeah, it's a good film.
I think this is Adrian Tay's best film.
Yeah, I think this is Adrian Tay's best film.
Yeah.
Because it's so human, you know. You want to compare this with Padu? This is way better than Padu.
Leagues ahead.
Padu, the basketball movie, right? Oh my god, this is like so much way ahead lah of Padu.
So 70% of the time during the film, I was either in tears or close to tears. This film has like so much feeling, and it's not feeling like Padu was all about winning emas untuk negara. This one only had that like 5% of that. The most of it was really just about, number one, it was about how his father like really loved him.
It's the relationship lah, you know.
Really supported
it's about
him.
relationship.
Yeah, and like and then it's also kind of about the mother's conflict of being realistic
And
then
wanting her
also-
children to be successful and
but also
secure,
yeah,
right?
it's not like she didn't love him, but she's realistic lah.
Yeah, but also a little bit too Chinese
Yeah.
mother lah.
Yeah.
You know?
Which he pokes fun, which Adrian Tate pokes fun at in the film.
Yeah. There's a lot of like breaking the third wall
Yeah,
or fourth wall.
fourth wall.
Which usually done always very tackily lah, but this
one
one was done okay lah because it wasn't too much.
Yeah.
You know?
And then
Yeah.
I thought the progression of it was also quite realistic. Like, it's true, right? You have to work part-time job to play badminton for the country because it's not like your government stipend so big also. So it's like if something happens to you, you cannot play badminton already lah. You gotta be realistic and support your family. And that was really sad, and it was really a commentary on how we don't really support our national athletes or give them, you know, that kind of resource or stability to be able to pursue this sport, any sport really. But it wasn't done in like such a in your face way. So everything in the film was really just about love. Such a love story. It's a love story to badminton. It's a love story to Malaysia. It's a love story to his father. It's just so much love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very good movie. And it starts off with the 1992 Thomas Cup. And if you were around in 1992 watching the Thomas Cup live on TV because the stadium was full, or listening to it on the radio, or oh my god, I remember because I was 1992, I was 14 years old, and everybody wanted to be a badminton player at that time. I was watching my family and I were traveling back to Johor when the Thomas Cup finals was happening, and we were listening, half of it we were listening to it on the radio, and we were so excited in the car, and half of it we would stop for dinner and we would watch the TV at the restaurant that we were eating on, and we would be cheering on together with the people that we were watching with. And it was we just sat at the restaurant and we finished the whole tournament, the whole finals there, you know. And you see Rashid Sidek playing, you see Razif and Jalani Sidek playing, you see Fu Kok Kiong play. Oh my god, Fu Kok Kiong, Chia Sung Kit, Su Beng Kiang. By the time Chia Sung Kit, Su Beng Kiang played, oh that's it lah, we won already. And then the third singles, right, Kwan Yok Ming, he played for nothing. Because already won, right? So you watch them play, they were just hitting the shuttlecock back and forth, only like warm up like that. Oh my god, it was after 25 years, you know. This film invokes nostalgia for those who were around at that time. Everybody wanted to be Rashid Sidek, man. And everybody felt for Miss Bone, because Miss Bone was the eldest brother, the Sidek brother, right? Who did not manage to win the Thomas Cup, but won as a coach. You know? Even though he was like Malaysia's #1 player at one time. You know? Oh my god. So yeah, that was that. And then after that, like what you were saying lah, this film is really about relationships.
Yeah.
Between fathers and sons and families, obligation towards your family.
And also your relationship with the game.
Correct. Your obligation you have for your own passion.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a cliche patriotic film. You know, although it is very patriotic, but it's not your cliched Malaysian patriotic film. You know,
There was a cliche part in it though.
I don't think so. I know the part that you're talking about, the speech that Rashid Sidek gives.
Chea.
Yeah. Before he plays the finals, right? But I thought it was not. It was to me, Farid Kamil does not look like Rashid Sidek, but he plays Rashid Sidek, right? But he embodies Rashid Sidek quite well with his hairstyle, his movement, and the way he speaks. Eventually, halfway through the movie, you believe that he's Rashid Sidek. I've never thought much of Farid Kamil as an actor, but here he did quite decent. He gave a decent performance, and his two speeches that he gave the player, right? One when they were at the roof, I thought it was good actually. I have to disagree with you lah. You know, I know you think it's a bit cliche. I didn't. And then when he was trailing behind, he won the first set and he was trailing behind the second set. He gave this motivational talk. Who wrote the dialogue, man? It was great.
That one I didn't really mind. Only the roof one I didn't like.
It was great. It was so natural. You didn't feel. It didn't feel. it was great. I felt like I was watching Rocky. You know, I was watching Rocky. Oh my god.
Okay, now wait. Since we're talking about the actors now, right? I have to say, I really only paid attention to Jack Tan in Abang Adik. And we all
Jack
know...
Tan was in Abang Adik.
Jack Tan is the younger brother in Abang Adik. Anyway.
But he played good performance.
Anyway, I loved him in Abang Adik. Because, I mean, we really love Abang Adik. It was like a great film to close last year with. And his performance in Abang Adik was also really great. But then in this film, right, he plays a completely different character, you know. And I felt like his performance was like solid. He did so well. There was like so many different spectrums of emotions, and the kind of growth that he had to play, you know, was just really, it really drew me in. It really drew me in. It was so captivating. It was so cheeky. It was so playful, and it's so natural also the way he was with every single character. I didn't feel like there was an unnatural moment in any of it. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Jack Tan in this. I think I'm a fan now. And in true Adrian Tay fashion also, his signature is that there are shirtless men in his film, and there are also shirtless men in this film. Mostly
only
Jack Tan. So yeah, it's great.
So I don't disagree. Jack Tan gave a very good performance, and he looks the part, you know, with his passionate face, and the speech that he gives Rashid Sidek when he wanted Rashid Sidek to train him for the Paralympics. Wow! And you look at his facial expression, it was great.
So sincere.
And I really like how Adrian Tay or the filmmakers did that parallel thing to compare between Rashid Sidek when badminton was first in the Olympics, and Rashid Sidek was the potential to be the first gold medal that Malaysia would ever get at the Olympics. Not only the first gold medal, the first medal ever that Malaysia would ever get at the Olympics, and he was hopeful. And Sidek, Rashid's father, had given him a flag that he made himself to put it around, drape it, and run around the arena after he wins the gold, because his father was that confident of him. But we all know Rashid Sidek eventually just won the bronze, and that was the best he could ever do. Nobody's going to fault him for it, because we know he tried. I mean, not like Lee Chong Wei, right? So many times I still cannot.
I don't want to talk about it.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But so the parallel was with Chea. What's his real name?
Chea. Jack Tan.
Yeah, Jack Tan's. We cannot forget his name.
Liu Ho.
So because his father also promised, right, that he's going to win the Olympics. He had so much confidence, and he's going to be so proud if he wins the Olympics. But of course, the father dies, and then the two of them go together to the Paralympics in Tokyo and winning it, and
Rashid Sidek drapes the flag on him.
Drapes the flag on him.
God.
Yes, and Adrian Tay is great in this film because he juxtaposes real footage with the film.
The winning moment.
Yeah, the winning moment.
Oh my God.
And also the interviews that Rashid Sidek and Jack Tan had, right? Look, I feel like this is a disservice to him if you don't mention his real name. Wait, I'll be back.
It was such a beautiful film. It's just, we've seen so much of these like sports films, not just this year with Padu, but like over the years in general. But I think this is the best one they've made ever.
So Chea Liek Ho.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm so sorry that I cannot remember his name. In fact, I didn't even know his story. Just because it's I take my hat off to Adrian Tay for wanting to highlight this, a Paralympic story.
And they brought it up in the film also. They said, you see, he's like 11th time world champion. But do you know who he is? No, right? You don't know what? Because he's only a para-badminton champion.
And I feel ashamed of myself for not knowing. But really, hats off to Adrian Tay, you know, for doing this. You know?
We didn't expect it to be about... We didn't see the trailer, you see. We didn't see the trailer beforehand. So we didn't know what it was about. I remember when Padu came out and then we saw that there was going to be another sports film. I was like, great, another sports film. So it blew us away, like, blew me away anyway. Really, really, like, it's great.
Yeah, and you know, like, Agent Tay usually works with the same bunch of people.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things that I like about Agent Tay, because he embodies that spirit that I also actually believe in, where you work with friends and you're passionate about your filmmaking, and you know, and you grow together, because Agent Tay grew together with his cast and his friends and all that, right? But this one, like, he chose like different people to work with, you know, and it's like totally different genre that he's ever done before.
Shows his maturity also in his filmmaking.
This film really shows maturity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the best film ever, but it's a really solid film.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful film. And if you're a Malaysian, like you said, if you're a Malaysian, and especially if you're a Malaysian who was kind of older already in the 90s and you followed badminton. I mean, Malaysians followed badminton for so long. I don't know if Malaysians are still doing it now, because I don't really care about Chea, but you know, in the 90s and in the early 2000s, we were in it. It was our thing. Everybody followed badminton. Everybody rooted for Malaysia. And like, this film is really kind of about that, but also about how we forget lah. We'll forget about the other people. And one of the things about this Liek is also the fact that when early on in the film already he's diagnosed with this palsy, right? And he talks about how it's okay, he will train to play normal badminton, and then later on he can also participate in the Paralympics. And then when he trains, he still trains with the national team, and his teammates are like supportive. Because it's difficult, right, at first, but his teammates are supporting him, and you know, in the end, over time, he kind of manages to hold his own lah, even with the able-bodied, I guess, national players. So I thought that was really nice to see, because people always think that, oh, you know, once you get a disability, that's it, finish already. And then, especially in films, the story is always like it's never a comeback. It's about like adapting, or it's about finding a new purpose or whatever. But this one, he stuck with it, you know. He was like, at one point his father was like, maybe you find a new dream lah. I will support you in pursuing a new dream.
Then he's the one who motivates his father.
I will not give up on badminton.
Yeah, and you know what?
And then his father was like,
Paralympic lah, you know. And the father was like, okay, my precious son.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
There's a lot of feelings.
Yeah. And I like also, like you mentioned, that, you know, you bring up like the reality of being an athlete in Malaysia and all that, right? When Khairi Jamaluddin became the sports minister, he upped the salary for national athletes to make it more, you know, not
livable, competitive, livable,
not competitive, but
decent.
He also upped the salaries for Paralympian athletes, para athletes, to be equal with able-bodied athletes.
Correct.
He did that. So
he did do that.
Yeah. So I hope this highlights this even more. You know, this fact. You know, I remember doing a big feature story on our Paralympian athletes that won so many goals at Rio. You know, what's that sprinter, the Harimau guy and all that. You know, and when I did that story, I was very inspired by them, because they're like gold medalists. You know, yeah, and they were the first batch of para athletes who benefited from KJ's bill that, you know, raised up their salaries.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good. I mean, I like this film. Now, although it brings up nostalgia for people who were around in the 90s, younger people is going to enjoy it too. They're going to enjoy this movie too.
It's not an age specific thing.
Yeah, you know.
But more so if you were around.
Because this film is so universal in its theme as compared to Padu. Padu, you need to be Malaysian to feel it lah. You're not Malaysian, the film's not so good enough to pull your attention.
This one, you just need to have a father.
You know, you need to have
pretty decent relationship with your father, a struggling family.
Or you don't have a decent relationship with your father and you feel you want that. You know, it's great. Yeah, and the badminton scenes look like these people could actually play badminton, not like Padu, you know.
With one hand.
Yeah, not like Padu, you know. Padu, you say, oh, are they basketball players? Only, you know, in the movie lah, you know.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah, please watch.
It just came out. today. We went to watch it opening day. The cinema was not full. But it's a good film. It's a good film. Watch it.
It's
bring everybody to watch it.
Yeah, it's a good film. Go watch it lah. I think you enjoy it. I want to bring the kids to watch it. I want to bring Athena, Litya to watch it.
Yeah,
actually.
we brought our son to watch it.
We didn't want to bring him, but we were stuck with him.
And he doesn't really speak Cantonese or
Mandarin
or Malay much. So he didn't really get the film. So he knew that people were playing badminton. He knew that the boy's hand was in pain. But that was it lah. So no emotional impact for him at all. But yeah, bring everybody to watch it. Okay.
Let us know what you think. Yeah.
Like this video.
Like this video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on all our social media platforms at Bidin, or go to fatbidin.com to get everything. You'll be watching and listening to Fat Bidin Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm Chea.